Did you know the Titanic was deemed unsinkable before its maiden voyage? This marvel of engineering was the largest passenger liner of its time, showcasing the pinnacle of luxury and technical prowess. With grandeur and elegance that captivated the world, the Titanic was a floating palace, equipped with state-of-the-art technology, from its powerful engines to its advanced wireless communication system. It was a testament to human ingenuity, a ship that many believed was unsinkable. However, the Titanic's history was about to take a tragic turn. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic embarked on its maiden voyage from Southampton to New York City. Among the crowd of eager passengers were prominent figures of the time, such as millionaire John Jacob Astor IV and the unsinkable Molly Brown. The air was thick with excitement and anticipation, the promise of an unforgettable journey on the world's most luxurious liner. Dreams of new beginnings and adventures lay ahead. Little did they know, this voyage would be the Titanic's first and last. On the night of April 14, 1912, the Titanic met with a colossal iceberg. The evening was crisp, the sky studded with stars and the sea seemingly calm. Yet, beneath this deceptive tranquility, a disaster was silently brewing. The Titanic, with its 2,224 passengers and crew, was steaming full speed ahead, oblivious to the looming danger. Earlier that day, the ship had received several ice warnings, but they were largely ignored. The fatal decision to maintain speed despite the warnings was one that would seal the ship's fate. Unbeknownst to the crew, a monstrous iceberg, hidden in the darkness of the North Atlantic night, lay in their path. At approximately 11:40 p.m., the lookout sounded the alarm, but it was too late. The ship scraped the iceberg, causing the supposedly unsinkable Titanic's hull plates to buckle inwards along her starboard side. This collision marked the beginning of the end for the Titanic. Post-collision, the Titanic began its tragic descent into the icy depths. As the enormity of the situation started to become apparent, chaos ensued. Passengers and crew members scrambled in panic, their hopes pinned on the limited lifeboats, a stark reminder of the ship's ill preparation for such a disaster. Despite the Titanic being equipped with state-of-the-art technology, it had a mere 20 lifeboats, enough for only half of the ship's capacity. This was a decision made by the ship's architects, prioritizing aesthetics and deck space over safety. As the ship began to tilt and the first lifeboats were launched, the harsh reality sunk in. There were not enough lifeboats for everyone. In the midst of the pandemonium, there were stories of bravery and sacrifice. The ship's orchestra continued to play, a desperate attempt to instill calm amidst the chaos. Many of the ship's crew worked tirelessly, assisting passengers onto lifeboats, often at the cost of their own lives. The ship's wireless operators, Jack Phillips and Harold Bride, tirelessly sent out distress signals until the very end. Despite their efforts, the nearest ship, the RMS Carpathia, was 4 hours away, a grim reminder of the isolation of the sinking Titanic. As the final lifeboats were launched, the ship's stern rose into the air, driven upwards by the sinking bow. The once majestic liner was now a haunting silhouette against the night sky, its fate sealed. The frantic cries of those left on board echoed in the night, a chilling testament to the catastrophic event unfolding. The Titanic, once lauded as the epitome of luxury and technological prowess, was now reduced to a sinking wreck. Its much vaunted claim of being unsinkable was proven tragically wrong. In the icy Atlantic waters, the ship's lights flickered one last time before plunging into darkness. In the wee hours of April 15th, the Titanic disappeared beneath the waves, taking with it over 1,500 lives. The sinking of the Titanic remains one of the deadliest peacetime maritime disasters in history, a chilling reminder of the hubris of mankind and the unforgiving nature of the sea. In the midst of disaster, the Titanic sent out desperate distress signals. These cries for help echoed through the cold, dark night and were answered by the RMS Carpathia, a ship nearly 58 miles away. Racing against time, the Carpathia pushed through ice-infested waters to reach the sinking Titanic. At daybreak, the Carpathia emerged as a beacon of hope, rescuing over 700 survivors from the lifeboats scattered across the Atlantic. This was a moment of relief, yet it was steeped in profound grief. The grim reality of the disaster was impossible to ignore. For every survivor on the Carpathia, there were two who had been claimed by the icy sea. The fortunate rescue of some contrasted sharply with the horrifying fate of those left behind. The vast ocean had become an icy grave for over 1,500 souls. While some found rescue, the majority were lost to the icy Atlantic. The Titanic disaster sparked immediate investigations and inquiries. Swiftly following the tragedy, two major inquiries were conducted, one by the United States Senate and the other by the British Board of Trade. These intensive probes sought to unravel the truths behind the disaster and to ensure such a catastrophe could never happen again. The U.S. Senate inquiry, led by Senator William Alden Smith, began just days after the disaster. His team interviewed surviving passengers and crew members, including the ship's second officer, Charles Lightoller, and J. Bruce Ismay, the managing director of the White Star Line. Their testimonies shed light on the ship's inadequate lifeboat provision, the ignored iceberg warnings, and the Titanic's high speed despite the ice field. Across the pond, the British Board of Trade's inquiry, led by Lord Mersey, also probed the disaster. Although it largely exonerated the White Star Line from blame, it too highlighted the insufficiency of lifeboats and the need for improved safety measures. As a result of these investigations, significant changes were made to maritime laws and safety practices. The International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea was established in 1914. This crucial treaty laid out new safety measures for passenger ships, including the requirement that enough lifeboats be available for all passengers and crew, regular lifeboat drills, and the establishment of the International Ice Patrol to monitor iceberg threats in the North Atlantic. The Titanic disaster also led to the creation of the Radio Act of 1912 in the United States, which required round-the-clock radio communications on all passenger ships to ensure distress calls would not go unanswered. These changes were a direct response to the disaster, revealing the harsh reality that the Titanic was not unsinkable, but a victim of human error and hubris. The Titanic disaster forever changed maritime safety regulations. The lessons learned from the tragedy continue to influence the safety protocols of sea travel today, ensuring that the legacy of the Titanic and those who perished is not forgotten. Despite the tragedy, the Titanic's story continues to captivate the world. The ship's tale has transcended the boundaries of time and space, leaving an indelible mark on popular culture. Titanic's narrative has been immortalized in countless movies, most notably the blockbuster film from 1997, which brought the ship's story to a global audience. Beyond the silver screen, the Titanic continues to inspire a multitude of books, documentaries, and exhibitions, each unraveling a different facet of the ill-fated journey. The fascination extends to the depths of the Atlantic, where the ship's wreck lies. Expeditions to the seabed have unveiled haunting images of the Titanic, frozen in time, further fueling our fascination. These explorations and the stories they uncover symbolize our ongoing quest to understand the tragedy, to humanize the numbers, to remember. The Titanic disaster, a century later, remains etched in our collective memory. The Titanic disaster serves as a stark reminder of human hubris and the importance of safety over luxury. From the grandeur of its conception to the horror of its demise, the Titanic embodied the extremes of human endeavor and ambition. The ship was a testament to the technological prowess of the early 20th century, yet its sinking exposed the tragic flaws in our understanding of nature's might and the value of human life. The Titanic story is not just about a ship, it's about the people who were part of its brief, ill-fated journey. People like Captain Edward Smith, who went down with his ship, and Molly Brown, who helped others into lifeboats and survived to tell the tale. Their stories and many others continue to resonate with us, reminding us of the courage, despair, and heroism that emerge in the face of overwhelming adversity. In the aftermath of the disaster, maritime safety regulations underwent significant changes. The establishment of the International Ice Patrol, the requirement for sufficient lifeboats for all passengers, and the improvement of wireless communication at sea, all these reforms were born out of the Titanic's tragic end. The Titanic disaster is a profound lesson, a mirror reflecting our own strengths and weaknesses. It serves as a reminder that no matter how advanced our technology becomes, we must never underestimate nature's power or sacrifice safety for grandeur. The Titanic disaster is not merely a historical event but a profound lesson in humility, respect for nature, and the value of human life.